Okay, today we're going to be making a cream of asparagus soup. So what we need to get started with is some fresh asparagus. We have 3 bunches, and we just want to save a little bit behind for later on in the recipe when we add it at the end, just for a little bit of garnish. So we're going to start with 2 bunches. I'm going to roughly chop it. I don't have to have it perfect by any means because I'm going to end up pureeing in a blender or a hand blender anyway. So we're just going to roughly chop the asparagus. You want to get down to about right here, because then it starts getting a little bit woody on the bottom. Some people say when you snip it, it's where it snips off, is where it starts becoming tough, and that's pretty much about where I cut it. So about, maybe a quarter, maybe a quarter of it left on the bottom is pretty much woody. You don't want to use that. So put that off to the side. We're going to take 3 tablespoons of butter. And I'm going to put it in a pan that I have on the burner here. Melt it. I'm going to add a half of a red onion, diced. We're just going to brown that up a little bit. And then I have some celery here. It's 1 stalk of celery, diced. Oops. And put that in there. You just want to cook it just to get the flavors out of it, just until it's a little bit soft. And then I'm going to add our asparagus. Give that a stir. And we just want to sweat this a little bit. And there's not a lot of other ingredients. We're going to add a little bit of sherry, cooking sherry, to it. Kind of gives it a little smoky flavor to it. Kind of a nice flavor. I'm going to add a little bit of that. About a quarter of a cup. And that will help the asparagus sweat a little bit. I'm going to just put just a pinch of garlic. Then we're going to add our chicken stock or vegetable stock. We're going to add about 2 quarts. We're going to let this cook for about 35-40 minutes until all the asparagus is thoroughly cooked. And then what we're going to do is we're going to puree it. So you would let it cool down and puree it in a blender, or you would use a hand blender. And what you end up with is this. And remember I told you we were going to save a little bit of the asparagus for the end. What I did was I just chopped it a little bit finer and put it in the puree product. So this is what it looks like after we pureed it. You see it thickens up a little bit. And we are going to finish it with just a little bit of heavy cream. So we're going to add about half a cup of heavy cream. And at this point we taste it, make sure that it had enough salt and pepper. I already tried it, it tasted delicious, so it's ready to serve. You just serve it in a nice soup bowl like this. And you can see all the chunks of asparagus. And it doesn't really take very long to cook it at all. You want it to be a little bit crunchy and a little bit greener than the rest of the soup. So, and there you go, cream of asparagus soup.